I can play more than 200 or 300 songs. I like performing because I want to win a lot of cups. At the age of just 8, Sophiya Mykhailova learned to play on 10 instruments, and her younger sister Solomiya is not far behind. The elder brother of these talented girls studies at the Gliere Academy in 2 specializations at once, and their parents are professional musicians and teachers. This is a story about a family for whom music is the main driving force and motivator that gives them inspiration for creativity. They didn't get into music right away. They first performed in a circus studio. We took Sophiya there at the age of 2, but the management told us that she was too young. Later, when she turned 4 and Solomiya turned 2, we took them both there. They gladly jumped around and played there. Despite being that much into circus art, the girls were always closer to music from an early age. They listened to their elder brother practice, attended different musical festivals and competitions with their parents, and closely paid attention to how other children performed. Speaking of their childhood years, I tried to play for them musical compositions. Sophiya used to fall asleep listening to Rachmaninoff's concerts. I put on children's songs for Solomiya. Basically, that also affects development. In addition, both Sophiya and Solomiya came to listen to Ivan play since a very early age. Sophiya used to fall asleep to the sounds of drums. People that came to visit us wondered how she could sleep when someone was playing on the drums. Psychologists say that background music greatly influences the development of creativity in children, their imagination and memory. Perhaps that is why today Sophiya can learn any melody by ear. Even her parents are surprised by how quickly and easily she managed to do that. We wonder how she plays them back. She says she knows a song even before we learn it with her. She listened a lot to Ivan play when she was younger. There's a reason why many specialists say that you should show children things you want them to do. If you want your kid to be a construction worker, buy them a construction set. If you want them to become a musician, then allow them listen to music. The girls get a lot of inspiration from their brother Ivan, who often helps his parents tame the excess energy of Solomiya and Sophiya. The girls listen to him. He tells them how to do something right. He has a very serious look. He's their elder brother, and he's really talented at what he does. And this gives his sisters great inspiration to follow in his footsteps. So they sit and listen to him play, and they gladly learn by example. And that is exactly what is more important for them to develop their skills and talent. When I was 2 years old, I ran around the stage with the maracas when playing with a band. Then I wanted to play the flute, though I actually thought that I would end up playing the piano. But initially, I seriously thought that I would become a circus artist. But the circus studio faded into the background when Sophiya decided to get into music. The saxophone is her most favorite instrument. I like it more and I practice playing on it more than any other instrument. I made my first record as the youngest saxophonist to play in the genre of jazz improvisation. Sophiya really likes the saxophone more than any other instrument. She likes playing the piano, the violin, the trombone, and the block flute. She's also learning to play the guitar and likes drumming, but she likes the saxophone the most. She relates to it better than to any other instrument. So apparently, it seems to be more natural for her.
чувствует она его себе родным.
Sophiya hones her skills playing every day and plays more and more difficult pieces. Playing the saxophone is a fairly difficult process, which she quickly mastered.
Надо правильно держать диафрагму.
You need to hold the diaphragm correctly and play the notes correctly. First, you need to learn the notes and to quickly shift your fingers. There's a mouthpiece and a cane, and you have to blow into the cane. There's an exercise where you take the mouthpiece and work out your abs on a chair. This is how you exercise your diaphragm.
Вот так, как пресс качать. Так диафрагма тренируется. Я играю, может...
I can play more than 200 or 300 songs. I have a good memory for saxophone parts, but for some reason, not for other instruments.
Почему-то нет.
Правильный подход к детям. Вот нельзя сразу, как взрослым, серьезно, все в рамки, нельзя.
As for the right approach to children, you can't treat them serious like adults and set boundaries. Children need to be treated differently. You need to feel how to treat each other. You need to develop breathing correctly, proper ear pad placement, proper finger placement. They might complain that it's too difficult to the point that they have no desire to practice on this instrument anymore.
Это так сложно, я уже что-то не хочу заниматься на инструменте этом. И очень важно вот в любой музыке.
It is very important to not differentiate too much when teaching music between musical literature, solfeggi, and the profession. When it all comes together as a complex and a teacher can teach a child without them realizing that, the child will inadvertently realize that they love solfeggi and musical literature and that it's easy for them.
Сольфеджио любит музыкальную литературу, и оно ему не сложно, оно ему легко.
As Sophiya grew and developed musically, little Solomiya, who also did not want to lag behind her older brother and sister, was also growing up. Solomiya is a trumpet enthusiast.
Я на ней больше всего занимаюсь.
I practiced playing this instrument the most. It was tough in the beginning, but now I have gotten used to it and it's easier. It was hard blowing into it at first and playing high notes.
Воздух брать.
Бывает так вот, что мало детей.
It so happens that there aren't many children who want to play brass instruments, but these instruments must still be present in an orchestra. So we try to help our children play these instruments. If it works out, great. If not, then we'll find some other instrument. But one way or another, it works out more often than not.
Получается.
However, it is sometimes difficult for parents to deal with the girls' emotions. They are very attached to one another, and furthermore, each of them wants to be the center of attention.
Эмоционально они друг от друга очень сильно зависят, конечно.
They are very dependent on each other emotionally. Like in any family, they compete with each other. They don't compete with their brother because he's older, wiser, has different interests, and calms them down all the time. They are very close, and each of them wants to be the center of attention. If Sophiya wins a grand prize and Solomiya takes first place, there are more tears and grudges. For example, one of them may react with frustration, saying, "I'm not going to practice anymore because she has won more grand prizes than I did."
У нее больше гран-при, у меня нет гран-при.
They are even sometimes stubborn to share instruments, of which there are a lot in the music classroom.
Они неусидчивые.
They are restless. They can play the piano, then Sophiya decides she wants to play the drums. Solomiya decides the same, and they get upset because they can't divide the drum kit. In short, this relationship between the girls is often very tiresome for parents. They compete with each other.
Конечно, родителям. Конкуренция.
For example, Solomiya said she wanted a violin when she was 4 years old. When we bought her a violin, Sophiya said she also wanted to play on the violin.
Только ей покупаешь скрипку, тут уже София говорит, я тоже скрипачка.
Surprisingly enough, this competition between the sisters is their driving force and an incentive to master playing on new instruments and creating new creative compositions. Today, both of them are not afraid of going on stage with the Krog Jazz Band, with which they often perform on live concerts and at different competitions.
Сначала я слишком.
I was very nervous during my very first competitions and concerts.
И концертах. А сейчас,
But now, I get anxious if it's a difficult competition or get a bit nervous during a live concert.
я немножко волнуюсь. Я уже много выступала и...
I've performed many times, so I have gotten over the stage fright. I like performing because I want to win many awards. I took first place in Children's Planet because my backing track turned off, when I was playing, so the audience clapped in order to give me a sense of rhythm.
Мне люди сделали ритмы, хлопали мне.
The girls have learned to easily get out of the most unforeseen situations on stage. They improvise with ease and can dance while holding their instruments if it is necessary.
Соломея, она непосредственно, она любит смотреть по сторонам.
Solomiya is spontaneous and she likes looking around to see everyone's reaction. Sophiya reacts to her own movements and can even improvise some moves during a performance. She glances at everyone, as if telling them to repeat after her. Again, it's all about improvisation, meaning that you don't have to come up with anything beforehand. So why not rehearse in advance?
Давай заранее прорепетируем.
Ну, с коллективом веселее.
Playing in a band is more fun, but playing solo is even more interesting.
Ну, не интересней, а можно...
And I can improvise and come up with my own dances. That is, I can play and dance at the same time.
играть и танцевать.
София, она более дипломатичная. Она...
Sophia is more diplomatic and pretentious, so to speak. She likes something more emotional and loves when the audience focuses on her. It's important for her that she stands out. If she notices she doesn't stand out in a band, and she will do everything to stand out in order to become the center of attention.
Все равно во время игры делает все так, чтобы она выделялась и становилась в центре внимания.
Solomiya, on the other hand, has a different mission in a band. The young trumpet player is very sensitive to false notes, and she can easily detect a musician that plays them.
Если кто-то когда-то там вот исполнил что-то,
If someone plays something and Solomiya doesn't like that, we have a 5-minute argument that goes, why did you forget to play this here? Why did you play an F or a G instead of an A? How could you allow yourself to do that?
там фа там или соль, почему, как ты мог?
In the orchestra, where the girl's father is the artistic director, 6-year-old Solomiya has to play with kids that are twice as old as her, and for this simple reason Solomiya cannot lag behind.
Сейчас у нас мальчик в коллективе, который учится.
We have a boy in our band who is in the 2nd year at the Gliere Academy, and he says, my classmates play worse than you, Solomiya. You read sheet music and your sounds are truly fantastic.
Хороший.
This is a story about how music can inspire and make people happy. A story about parents who know how to find the right words, motivate and teach. It is a story about children who are in absolute harmony with their inner world and environment.
Это миг для них счастья. Они живут в этом.
This is their moment of happiness. They live for the Krog Jazz Band. For them it is love, communication, family and friends. They spend a lot of their free time there. Many say that they have no childhood, but childhood means happiness. So if they're happy doing what they do, that means that they have a happy childhood.
Получают от удовольствия то, что они делают, значит, оно есть. Естественно, воспитывать как музыканта выбор.
Naturally, the choice to raise them as musicians was theirs. I'm not sure this choice has been made yet. I believe that it's wrong to make a choice for your children. What you should do is guide them, help them, and do everything possible so that they will be happy in life.
Счастливыми, да.
Daring and talented, bold and restless, self-dependent and happy. Such young children are our future. They're the future of Ukraine.